the name of the game is called Impromptu / Let's Go, right? So what I want to do is see if we can have, I want to see if we could just have a 5-minute conversation about an interesting thought. And then in 5 minutes, we just stop no matter what. Mr. Nate's going to make sure we stop. And I'm going to give you 3, right? So I'm going to give you like 3 statements. I want to see how you think through them. We'll talk for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we got to stop no matter what. Is that fair?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I like it already. All right.
Okay.
So here we go. All right. Time is a measurement of an endless resource. But if it's endless, why do we measure it?
You say, yeah, I'm upset.
No, just, what do you, all right.
I think time is a concept that like man came up with. Like,
it is.
And I think it's just one of those things where like we've used it to manipulate a lot of things. And even when it comes to religion, we've used it for that one purpose as well.
All right, break it down. Yeah, now I'm interested. Bring it to me. All right.
Because like, how spooky can I get?
Get all the, let it all the way out,
We can
man.
try to get spooky.
Okay, yeah.
Because like, I think like, it is in scripture that we should work while it's day because night is coming where no man can work.
Okay.
But we've perverted that one line to the umpteenth power so many times. It's misconstrued like the whole meaning of even that verse.
What do you mean? Tell me. Yeah.
So like, in my mind, what that verse meant to me is that don't act as if you know how much time you have on earth because I can come calling at any time. Night for one man can be night for another man.
Uh-huh.
You should be focusing on what's day for you and what's night for you.
Okay.
As in, you should be about your father's business when you have the time to be about your father's business. The only time you cannot be about his business is when you're no longer here.
Okay.
So that's what I get.
That's what the verse, you feel like that was the intention of the verse.
That's what I've received from it.
Right. Uh-huh.
But then
But you feel like we take it somewhere else.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, we use it to like scare people to faith.
What you mean? Tell me.
Like as I was young, like I've taken kids to experience Hell Night, and I've had the luxury of being able to experience Hell Night as a student myself. Yeah. And one of the things that they use
for those people who don't know what Hell Night is.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is a worldwide broadcast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's an event that happens around Halloween time where instead of trying to like,
scare people, period. We try to scare them for Jesus. Is that what you was about to say?
Yeah,
because that's exactly
today's your. This is hitting me. It's
crazy, ain't that?
It is very crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought.
And that was the whole premise of that to me. That's one of the first thing that they took out of there. Time. Be mindful of your time, but like they did it in such a way where like your time needs to be like you need to be in this church, and your time needs to be spent in this church doing woo woo woo. You don't have time to think about if you're going.
Yeah. Okay.
And you don't like, and they even try to tie it to like your tithes and offering and things of that nature. I don't think there's malintent behind it.
No, I know, but it's the way. What you're saying is how we've used it, right? Has really created a situation where people feel like we've used it as a way to oppress them instead of to free them, right? And the gospel's supposed to be freeing. Yeah, and so that's an interesting thought, yeah, to hear it that way.
Yeah, kind of like they use time to kind of bind you into doing this walk with Jesus when really he wanted to use it as like...
freedom for you to go do
Yes, it's not something
good.
That should be like... motivate you, like in terms of like fear. It's not something for you to fear. Time is not nothing to be feared. It should be experienced. It's something that should be of value to you. Like all time here on earth should be looked at as a gift, but we're being told that like, well, if you use it wrong, and like it becomes an enemy after a while.
Well, I think that goes back to how we fundamentally view time, and that goes back to our Western part we were talking about, right? Like in one of the things, I've been doing a lot of research on other cultures and trying to understand, and one of the things that's really unique about the way we view time is that we spend time, other cultures gain time, right? So for us, time is going away. You are spending it, right? It is going away. But for them, they're only getting more time. They're like, oh, I've gotten 8 hours today. I'm going to get a 9th hour. But for us, we'd be like, I've spent 8 hours today, right? And so you're right. When we began to apply that to getting ready for heaven and God and all those kind of things, it's like, oh yeah, you better spend your time right instead of thinking, hey, let's use the time you're gaining to actually do good, right? And so it is just an interesting kind of thought there.
And you see how it can misconstrue like almost everything.
It
Just
does,
your perspective on time instead of looking for it as something like that. Oh, something I get versus like I'm afraid to lose it type of thing.
Well, that actually to me is almost a perfect description of Untangled. Now, I'm afraid Nate's gonna yell at me in a second, but to be clear,
that's the best part.
Yeah, it is the best part. But I think that's exactly what Entangled is about, right? Is we could take our Christianity and say, man, you better do this, otherwise it's going to be bad. Or we could say, hey, you're free to go do this, right? And so are you spending your Christianity, spending the good that you're doing, right?
I wanted to.
Yeah, man, that would have been a good one.